You have car insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, big D's of all ages. I don't know why that's sticking out of all things in this. What does that even mean? I don't know.
I don't know.
All the cool people of all ages. This is the Jawber Report. We are doing week in review. We're still kind of feeling our way out, or yeah, or through this. So yeah, we're gonna talk. We're just gonna catch up a little bit. That's right. We're swimming through the veins of professional wrestling's kicks and knees and trachea hits.
Trachea. Oh man, here we go with the trachea again.
Everybody goes for the trachea.
There we go. Cool.
I gotta make sure I get you in the screen good because then I can take screenshots and beautify them for our other segments. All right.
I just always feel like I'm like too close. It's like I can't like that's far away. I can't reach it.
You got a good zoom lens.
I guess so.
Well, shoot, man. Where do we start? What
I,
happened
I
this week?
I'm I, uh, again. I gotta get used to this Sundays thing because we're so far away from Monday that. Uh, oh yeah, we had the retribution, and I think we're going to get a reveal here shortly of who retribution is. Um, Dijakovic is definitely one of them. He's the tallest of the group. I can just tell from his eyes and just his stature, which is it's kind of weird because it's like why. I mean, I unfortunately I think these are not new wrestlers. They're people that we know, which is probably a good thing because they're recognizable. Um, they can immediately, people are fans of them, so they probably will sell merch faster or better, whatever. But now it's like, okay, why are these people in retribution? Like, why is Dijakovic like he was just on NXT and he was with Keith Lee and he got taken out by Karrion Kross. It wasn't like was he in NXT too long? Like, is that what this whole thing is? Is all these people feel like they were wronged in NXT or they were there too long and never got the call up or something like that? I don't know, but um,
At
yeah,
this point, it's like I've been I watched that and I was like, I don't care. Like,
right,
at this
right.
point,
But you always want to find that silver lining of okay, something's good. It has to come out of it. So I mean, sure, let's bring up Dijakovic and get him right in a feud with Keith Lee again. Like I don't care. A Keith Lee and Dijakovic match is way better than uh, anything that's really going on now. Well, not anything, but a lot of things.
yeah, you know what I thought about when I saw that, when I don't know if it was him that was talking, but whoever was talking for Retribution, um, and their voice was kind of changed.
Yeah,
I just thought about watching those videos for the hacker
right,
and how people they were changing the voice, like they got into it, they were trying to unscramble it or trying to uh, catch the right pitch to possibly hear who it is. And I thought
right,
about that. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna hear more of those.
right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like we brought. I mean, that got mentioned a few weeks ago of well, with us of them just scrapping the hacker, but doing like that was when Mustafa
Ali,
Ali
yeah.
came, and then like they took away the
The ring.
the shape that the ring that's on his hand. And so like they slowly like took away things from the hacker and then just brought in Retribution and just like just slid it in and just like, took its place. I mean, and I think that's ultimately what has happened.
You know what? They didn't ask for it, and they didn't use any lube, so I'm not a big fan.
You don't know. Just I mean, but did it really hurt?
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, anytime they slide anything in, it would hurt, but this time I just felt indifferent.
Yeah.
I'm
So you
so
don't
over
really.
Retribution that it's like I also feel like Retribution at this point, like it started out as something else, and they're like, well, we're just gonna
Right.
transition it to this. It's like it just what it feels like and what it's felt like is that WWE is just adjusting on the fly, like which is why I don't think they can keep some consistencies with storylines, and then they make some really just kind of mind-boggling decisions. You're like, so you didn't plan this, like, oh, because people didn't react a certain way, or they didn't get a feedback that they wanted. And it's like I watch on Twitter and they keep asking, like, who do you want in this match? Who do you want to fight this? Who do you want to fight that? And it's like, I get it, but at the same time, it seems disjointed, man, and it like feels like it's changed. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it feels like Retribution was whatever that we talked about with the guy with the chainsaw,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he was from what's the name of that faction again? You know that better than I do. That they bought, like the wrestling company that they purchased.
Evolve.
Evolve, yes. So, and then you talked about the dude with the chainsaw, which I thought was fantastic. I was like, cool. And then on SmackDown, there's a dude with a chainsaw cutting the ropes, and it's like, and all of a sudden, it's now,
Seen them since. Yeah.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna Google his name, the Croatian guy, because I was born in Serbia, but I'm also part Croatian.
Right.
I'm all of those countries there.
I'm pro-Asian. Go Asians.
So his name is Dominic. Okay, Dominic Dijakovic.
Dajakovic, yes.
That's right. So if you want to say it in Croatian, it's Dijakovic. Dijakovic.
Dajakovic.
Probably Dijakovic. Dijakovic. And now it's him. So yeah, that's just. Hey, you learn to hear. You learn how to pronounce his name in his own mama language.
Did I say it right? Dijakovic?
Dijakovic. Well, yeah, the ch is very difficult.
I'm used to that. Well, because of other sports.
Yeah, yeah, it's like Djokovic. Same thing. Very close.
Sasha Vujic.
Vujacic. Yeah.
That's long. Yeah.
You remember. I am trying to get you squared on the screen.
No, I'm sorry. I move a lot.
Oh no, it's okay.
Well, I am a bit intrigued to see just who are the other people. I think one of them is Chelsea Green, who was supposed to get called up but hasn't. I'm not sure about the other males, but whatever. I mean, it's nothing great. I mean, I did love the whole Hurt Business, or Hurt Business. I did like the fact that they got involved, and they're just, but then it kind of puts a face onto them. It kind of takes away the heelish. They lost all that, like everything that they've been building up of people hating them, and now people are liking them, and I don't know if that's something that they're setting up. That they're too many heels or something. I don't know.
Yeah, let's go there. Since you're already there, let's go there because I don't know what the hell. Why, out of all the people that could have come out, they actually came out, and it was like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
In the ring, you have face versus face, and then you have heels turning to face. So are they turning Retribution into heels? It's like you don't have that many heels already. Like it
Right.
just, oh, yeah. It seems like once again, it seems like they're adjusting on the fly. And if we're talking about the Hurt Business and Cedric Alexander in there, and
Right. And it instantly makes that just full of crap
yeah,
because
it,
he just turned.
they just turned face, and I
Yeah.
don't know how you're gonna turn them back.
Or face heel face. I don't know. It's just, and like, I
I,
guess that's kind of the they're just tumbling down. They're just going face to heel, face to heel.
ass to face is what it is.
Yeah.
They haven't even reached heels. They just go ass to face. Wait a minute, is that a sexual term?
Grab your ankles. Go
Grab
for
your.
it. But yeah, no, and it's like that just kind of just hit me now, as far as her business going and saying like, you know, the security obviously isn't working. Well, obviously not going to work for charity, blah blah. But then now that I'm seeing it, like they're coming down, they're helping, and then not only that, but now you're working with Keith Lee and uh, Drew McIntyre, who are now. I mean,
That
now they're
whole
going.
angle feels forced. Cause
Yeah, now it's just like now you got Randy Orton, which is obviously a heel, versus McIntyre and Keith Lee. But what are they? I mean, Keith Lee's the face, but right, so what's McIntyre now? Like, I don't know.
oh,
So
but like it seems
Raw is
like.
just very confusing.
Go ahead.
I was just saying Raw out of the two, Raw is just very confusing.
Yeah,
Um,
when I saw the Hurt Business thing, I was just like, what else is there to watch? Is there something to eat? Like I was just like, you got to be kidding me. And then watching Cedric Alexander fight Ricochet,
yeah,
um,
no, yeah,
I
I
know
didn't.
why Ricochet is not doing well in the WWE.
Well, apparently there's rumors that he was on his way out, but now he's confirmed that he isn't leaving.
Well,
Um,
he should. I mean, not that he should be. Obviously, I'm not rooting for anyone to get fired because I don't think. I just Ricochet's got like that lucha style, which is fine, but he's like stabbing himself in the foot all the time. You gotta stop throwing all those freaking kicks, man. Like that are just
no,
like he would kick him in the face and then he would pick him up for something else, and it's like, dude, you just kick somebody in the face. Like you are like ruining. Like he's taking his own power away, and like I
yeah,
understand why like he puts great like if this was like a purely athletic event, Ricochet would have been awesome.
hmm
And his stuff with AJ Styles athletically was fantastic.
yes,
But as far as believability, as far as even like, listen, I know it's a work, I know it's a show, I understand it, but there is still like, every move is like, it has no weight to it whatsoever. So, and
right.
and everyone that's watched this channel knows me and my kick issue. So that's just me.
Yeah, it's like I mean, but and that's yeah. He just I mean, to be honest, I mean, I think back. Not once was I really excited have I been excited to see Ricochet. Like he had all the hype coming in, and then his style and all that, but just I mean, he's not that great on the mic. He's not good at any storytelling throughout the matches. So yeah, so I mean, I guess he's been a disappointment, really. I mean, whose fault is it? I mean, most of it's I'm sure his fault, but
Well, he was put in
I
with
don't.
AJ Styles, and like, but that's what also I think about Keith Lee and what they're doing with Keith Lee right now. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing?
Nope.
Like,
And
just
I see that with Matt Riddle on SmackDown. Now they got the whatever promo that was with Matt Riddle. It was
the
ridiculous.
bro pro.
Yeah, the pros of bro or something like I don't know. I was just like, that's just so bad and just cheesy, and it doesn't do anything to his character.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know his last match. Oh, he lost to Jimmy Uso or whatever in that triple threat or whatever. But yeah, they're just I don't know.
I don't know
That's like
either.
I'm just like go back to NXT, hurry up, go back to NXT, and just. But it's like almost too late for these guys.
Dude, like I said, man, it really just feels like they're adjusting on the fly, and I have no idea who they're listening to, and it seems like they're just listening to way too many freaking people
Right.
and trying to appease everybody. I feel like not only are they like having different segments for different audiences, what it feels like, it also feels like they're trying to appease to everybody, and it's like I mean it. So so for SmackDown, I don't have it on TV, so I pulled it up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know how they have those highlight shows, which are great if you don't want to sit there for 2-3 hours.
Right.
Of it just it's so slow, man. Raw was just painful, um, and they actually had AEW for the first like I think they combined them together. I don't know, but I watched an AEW match, and
Okay.
it was three women, and I have no idea who they are, but it was like this sort of a street fight. Uh, but it started in a dentist office. All right,
Okay.
and
That makes sense
eh,
because one of them is a dentist. Yeah.
there you go. See, there you go. They started at a dentist office, and I understand why. I mean, I can say right now that WWE has nothing to worry about. I mean, I
Right.
was
Yeah.
just like,
No.
is this WWE? Am I watching? Is this Raw? I'm like, wait a minute, like this is not Raw. This doesn't make any sense. I don't know any of these people because I don't watch AEW. And then I watched that
Right.
match, and I just sat there going like, it's the same like
Uh
anger,
huh.
and they weren't even laying shit in, which was even worse. Because like if you're gonna hit
Yeah.
somebody with like a diploma, you gotta lay that in.
Right.
And it was just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
and they were kicking each other, and it was the same thing. And I'm like, is this like I gotta watch more AEW? But is this just a trend with the new wrestlers? Like they don't understand, which is why this Thursday you guys gotta tune in because I have a match for you. Like, listen, Big D has great matches, and he's so good at finding these. And I'm so proud when I do find one, or when there is one that it just makes me like it just every second of it it's like you're soaking it up, and it's big names and it's a big stage, and we'll watch it on Thursday. But you get to watch what wrestling used to be, and this is pretty recently, really,
Okay.
and what it's turned to, and it seems like fans have become wrestlers, and wrestlers and those fans have not necessarily have understood their wrestling versus actually creating. It's weird. Like it just seems like there's an emphasis on having a good match. Not even technically. Like it just there's a lot of emphasis on a good match and not much emphasis on it. Like any story, like within the match. Like I don't even know. Like anyway, I'm digressing, but I just saw that match. I was like, WWE has nothing to worry about, unfortunately, and it.
Right. And that's been an issue too. That there's no competition. And that's why we always go back to the Attitude Era and all that because it was so great because there was that competition. There was that feeling of if we don't all step this up, we're all gonna lose our jobs. Like that's it. Like there's no fear of losing your. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's fear to an extent, but it's not expressed. Like I mean, I don't know. It's just there's nothing that they're fighting for.
The, but they're also so watching the Cedric Alexander match, which is how this all started for me. This whole digression or whatever I'm talking about is they are really. I mean, they're risking their lives. Like these guys are jumping, flipping, falling out of the ring, uh, it just seems so much more dangerous, the style. And it seems like the more you do it, the more it just kind of becomes blasé. You know, it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god. It's like, so now, yeah. When you
Just
fly,
it just blends all together. Nothing stands out.
yeah, it's like you've cried wolf on your own moves.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the match I'm gonna show you, they had some planned areas, but that was it. Okay, they
Okay.
had some planned areas, but that was it. The rest of it was really adjusted on the fly, and it's beautiful to watch. It's really just beautiful to see two professionals.
I just watched for the first time ever.
This is Thursday, everybody. Thursday.
I'm not. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully it wasn't. Was yours WC like was it Clash of Champions? A match from Clash of Champions. Your pick.
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, like I'm talking about like the first ever. We
My pick is
days.
from
Days.
WrestleMania. From WrestleMania.
Okay. Because Days was actually shout out to Wrestling Days. No, I shouldn't do that. But anyway,
Oh,
he
it's
was
cool.
they're watching
We'll love wrestling days.
Clash of Champions #1 from 1988, I believe. That was the Sting versus Flair. And that was the match that made Sting Sting. It was a 45-minute long match, and I ended up watching the whole thing. It was actually the same day as WrestleMania 4. And it was their first ever Clash of Champions, but it was on regular cable TV, and they did almost triple the amount of viewers
Oh
than
wow.
WrestleMania 4. So like WrestleMania, it's the fourth WrestleMania. This is the first Clash of Champions, and they had they like did times 4 the viewers. It was only an hour and 45 minutes long. There was like 6 matches, so like 5 matches were all within the first hour. It was just like straight to the point. There was a tag match in there that was just like flawless, and then it was the main event and a 45-minute match, and there was ended up being a draw, but but it was worth every minute of
It
it.
was a good match.
And it's just like you see that and just compare it to now, and you're just like, where has that gone?
Well,
Even I'll even say 2006, 2004. I've been watching a lot of that lately, and I'm watching pay-per-view after pay-per-view, and I'm enjoying it. Like I'm enjoying it, and that was like an era where I wasn't really quite watching a lot of it, so I didn't see a lot of those matches or feuds. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And that was, where's that now? Like, why am I not watching pay-per-views from just like, 8 years ago? No, I have to go back 15, 16 years.
well, that's the like. Let's define, like let's just say what a good match means to you, and what a good match means to me. Because I have a feeling we're gonna be pretty close. Because it's like, just saying a good match. What does that mean actually?
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Keeps you engaged the whole entire time. You're watching it without even paying attention to how long the match is. It could be a 5-minute match, or it could be a 35-minute match. But if you're still feel the same way after a 5-minute match that you do a 35-minute match, which is either too short or too long, but you still feel like, yeah, that's an amazing match, then yeah, that's a good match right there. A story, whether it's a quick story or a long story, as long as there's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
yes. It is so like I look at like what are the aspects like when we watched that Iron Man match from NXT, and we had like the only person that even stood out to me like even a little bit was Gargano, and
No,
that was precisely because he was actually aware of what was going on in the ring, and the first thing he did is just he walked out and just let them fight over it. And whether that was planned or not, it was good. And I was like, hey, I like Gargano. And and then he used the ladder for other things, or I forget the match because it wasn't that memorable. But I just remember he had a couple of spots there that were just like he is aware of what's actually happening in the match. Um, Finn Balor, I mean, forget about it. Like I think he's just like, here's the thing though, like I'm not dissing these people as people, and even as
Right.
wrestlers or athletes. I am just not engaged in it, and I am a certain demographic, and I watch wrestling for a long time, and asking people to live up to the Attitude Era, to live up to The Rock, and I'm like, you should want to live up to Stone Cold and Rock and Triple H, although I'm debatable on Triple H. He's a little debatable for me. I see it like, okay, let me not digress. We'll come back to Triple H. I'll say what I think is happening, like what people are being taught today, like as
Oh,
far as how to act, how to pretend, how to be. But story is one part of the match. What does that mean? It's like you have to build up a story going in. You have to build it up for not necessarily. You have to build it up for the wrestlers, and you have to build it up for the audience. The last thing you should worry about is like building it up just in a sense of like we're just gonna put this together, and we're gonna explain to you, oh well, they hate each other, here you go, they're gonna fight now. Like that doesn't work. Like you have to,
right.
you don't necessarily have to involve a lot of time for it, but you have to build up a story to where these people can actually act. Can not even that, it's like for the audience, for us, I have to have a stake. I have to either want to see somebody's ass get kicked, or I have to want to see how this story is actually going to end. And the only way to do that is to build it up to the point where the audience cares. Now, how do you know if the audience cares? And that's where you have writers who write good writers and bad writers. Like good writers. And here's the thing. I'm gonna digress a little bit, and I'm gonna say something about like people like Vince Russo. Like he definitely has his downfalls, and he says a lot of stupid shit. I say a lot more stupid shit than Vince Russo does, a lot more. But say what you will, there was a point in time in wrestling where Vince Russo was hot, and he was writing segments like, this guy gets his hair cut, and like they were ridiculous segments, but they were,
Yeah, he did for both companies.
yeah, he did in both companies. uh,
Right.
and yeah. Yes, he did it in both companies, and WWE has used that segment, and that was used before Vince Russo. I believe Jim Cornette had his hair cut once before. I'm sure it was a long running angle from my understanding.
Okay.
Um, but one thing he also introduced that I don't necessarily see, or it's somehow, and we always come back to this, and maybe I should just make it shorter. Um, but I'm kind of seeing the shoot. Like he would allow people to shoot. It's like this is what we need to cover, but for the rest of it, like and so instead of the writers having some sort of control, which they should to an extent, but they seem to have such complete control of what the characters can say. I just see it. I know when somebody's reading a script, man. I've done this. I've been there. I know when someone's reading the script, when somebody's reciting the script, when somebody's acting something, and wrestlers are not actors. Okay?
Right.
It's difficult to get. Even The Rock had to take acting classes, okay? They're not
Well,
actors, and they're asking them to act. But it was
right.
those shoot angles that's like, okay, you can shoot, or you can. And so the wrestlers would police themselves. Like, I'm going to say this. Is this cool with you? Or I'm going to go there. Is this cool with you?
Hmm.
But then you create this aura of, oh shit, I don't know what's going to happen, first of all. And second of all, there is a level of sincerity, and the reason I think they would allow wrestlers to shoot is precisely because they're not actors. And if you shoot, there's some level of truth there. And so,
Right.
yeah, it's like the truth. You don't need to act with truth. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's a big part that I just see missing. And I feel like it's like you have to say this, and we've changed it 20 times. So whatever you remembered, it's already had 20 rewrites.
Right. Right.
You know,
Exactly.
because we
Yeah.
can't make up a decision. It's like it just seems like WWE is just so scared of. And here I am, I'm ranting, and I'm
Man.
done after this. It just seems like they're so scared of making a mistake that they're making so many fucking mistakes.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Because there's a sense of being too careful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about money, man. It's definitely turned into this. I feel like it's like we can't say this because we have these sponsors. We can't say this. We can't go here because we have these sponsors. And all of a sudden, you can have the greatest freaking writing team in the world, and there's all these things you can't say. And what do you get? You get suffering succotash, or just succotash.
Michael Cole.
Oh, Michael Cole's been doing that. Michael Cole is the face
He,
of
he
safety.
was okay. He was okay years and years ago.
Well, this is because he got beat up. That's why.
Well, even before that, it was when he had his must. No, I don't know if he has a mustache now, but it was his goatee days
They
that he
always
wasn't.
picked on Michael Cole, man. Come on, like how
That,
they had a Jerry Lawler Michael Cole match. You remember that at WrestleMania?
yep. Yep.
That was a good WrestleMania match. You won it. Like, here's the thing: Michael Cole is
Right.
a heel, has been a heel, will never be a face, no matter what you do. Even if
Right.
somebody beats him up and he's treated wrongly, he still won't be a face. And seeing Michael Cole get beat up will get you ratings. So in that
Especially for Jerry
sense,
Lawler, who's always been a heel. Well, for the most part, he's always gone back and forth
and,
from a heel commentator to a face commentator. But
yeah, and he's just always a heel, no matter
yeah,
what.
it's just it's just we're in rough times. And it's just like I get like and I go back like we shouldn't have to search for those silver linings. So
Well, I mean, it's like you're trying to give him a benefit of a doubt, and you're trying to understand, like, okay, well, we're no longer in our 20s, we're no longer even teenagers, which is when we watched it, and how has the world changed? And but
our mindset
it
still has
huh?
our mindset still hasn't of what a good wrestling match is.
No, I think the basic, and then like let's just get back to okay, so it's building that story that we care about. That's just that's a staple. Like I have to want to care about what happens to these people, whatever the outcome is. And then there's also the story in the ring, and you cannot tell a story in the ring without the audience participation. Like I am realizing this, and if there any silver lining to this whole COVID and this whole empty arena stuff, although I have an empty arena match that I'm gonna show, which is a completely it still sucks, but it's just a different era. Okay, it is just different. But yeah, there's a silver lining there for sure. With the COVID and everything, and you just seen like the audience tells you, and the match we're gonna watch on this Thursday. So you're watching along with us, everybody. This is a watch along. It is on WWE Network. It's a WrestleMania match. We're gonna be watching along 2 matches, and they're gonna be good, or they're gonna be
I just
fantastic, if you know what I mean.
just waiting for you to like slip it out of what you picked.
No, no. Like what I'm
You
gonna say is I'm gonna
yeah.
show you on the fly. I'm gonna show you what a great match is without too many moves, without too much ridiculous bullshit, and 2 people adjusting on the fly whilst listening to the audience. And the audience is definitely telling them what to do.
Is it
And
a stipulation match?
is a stipulation match?
Yeah.
No. Nope.
Oh, okay. All
Nope.
right. Because
Don't be
I'm like,
digging
wait,
too much. You might
all
figure it
right.
out.
No,
Don't be
no.
digging too much.
I just had to dig a little bit because I'm like, wait. I just want to make sure that it couldn't possibly be the same thing.
Oh, that 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 would be something if we picked the same match.
We didn't know it.
Mm.
Oh, that's some on the fly stuff right there. At least we have backups.
No, that'd be perfect. Oh, I got so many backups, but that would be funny.
I,
That would be
I just
fantastic.
I just remembered another one that I want to do, so I just wrote that down. But um, yeah,
I'm gonna flex for our next. Okay, I'm gonna flex for. Yeah, that's right. I need those.
your
I
next
need those.
picture.
We're flexing for pictures right now, people. We're just. This is how random we are. I don't think I can track a thought. I sincerely do think I have ADD. I cannot track a thought. Like, we're still talking about a good match, but that's within the match. You should be able to tell a story, which is why you're listening to the audience, because the audience themselves are the whatever. They're the 12th man, if you will. And they are such an integral part of telling a story
Mhm.
within the match that you
Yeah,
cannot
I
have
mean
a.
that's
It's difficult to have a good wrestling match as far as now how we're defining it, which is the story outside to make you care for the match, and then the story within the match to tell that story, to kind of finish that story, also pay it off or not pay it off, make you angry or make you like, God damn it, I need to watch the next episode, leave it on a cliffhanger, or piss you off. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think, and then lastly, would you say, like, I think the last thing is to actually have a good, like, technical match. I think that's the very last thing, if at all, is important. Like, you
Right.
don't want to miss
That's
moves, but outside of that,
it's like what I'm seeing from the past, and another thing that I forgot that they did, and that I'm like, it's funny that I forgot, but SmackDown and Raw each had their own pay-per-views. So then it
mm,
was like, they had time in between where they could do those build up those storylines. But then not only that, but have a match at a pay-per-view, and then that story would continue, and then they would have a rematch at the next pay-per-view. Like it wasn't just a feud, a fight done with moved on. It was a fight, a match, a story, a match. Like I was watching the JBL and Eddie Guerrero feud, and that was going on at least 4 or 5 months. That was just on the WWE Network. They just added the Mickey James and Trish Stratus storyline. That went for almost a year of build up, and then it finally just came to a point. That's kind of like how like what we wished Sasha and Bailey was like, and it was going that way, and then all of a sudden they just flatlined that one, and
I mean,
now
come on, like,
I'm not gonna get into that Sasha Banks interview if you saw it or not, but my neck hurt so bad. Like she's just like her head, her like. Oh, I'm not gonna get into that. That was just horrible.
you're asking people to act. You're making them act. You're like you are just forcing. These are not actors, but they are people, and they can be. They can act if you let them be themselves a little bit.
Right, right. Um, yeah. So I know. I mean, I know. This is like. I love that where we've gone on this episode. Um, because I mean, I think definitely it's needed, and it's just good the direction that it's been going. Um,
But I like that we're defining a good match and see if we even know.
I mean, we're it's just like because nothing has happened. Um, I think did I see Braun Strowman in the Raw Underground?
Yeah, yeah.
So now he's cross branding it, and now he's going up against Dabakato or whatever his name is. Which I'm okay. I'm sure I would like to see that match, but Strowman's just gonna annihilate him. I feel.
There's no way Strowman. If Strowman loses there, they would have ruined Strowman, man.
So I was just like, why? Like, oh, it's just now it's like Raw Underground is just now that's starting to really ruin people. It's like it's going the direction that we're like, no, we don't want it to go this way. Like that's like we're like not sure if it's gonna work because it might go that way, and now it is, and it's just like no, stay no. But
I don't even know what they're trying to do with Raw Underground. It's like,
yeah, I don't know.
are you trying to compete with like
I don't know. It was the
UFC?
second week was solid. The third week was like okay. Like they had the avocado and they had the other guy, the bald guy. Like it was like okay, like these are gonna be like the two like main, like the big guys of this underground roster, if you want to call it. And then they just started sprinkling in everybody: Dolph Ziggler, Ivar, and Eric, and Kevin Owens,
Hurt
and
Business.
yeah. And it was just like now it's just like okay, no. And so I'm past that. Um,
I think well,
I'm sad. Yeah.
I know. So this is opening all these things up for us. Like, so I wanna talk. Like, I'm blowing out the mic. I apologize. I am definitely.
Oh, I hear you didn't change it all for me.
You you can hear it. You're good.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sorry about that. So okay. So uh, the importance of a jobber, also known as the enhancement talent or jabroni, which is what we're so aptly named after, is just giving respect to the jobber.
Right.
I think
Right.
I felt like Raw Underground started out as that. It's like building up talent, but also having a lot of people jobbing, but not being in really quick matches. You don't necessarily have to have a wrestler. You don't have to have a technically sound wrestler. You could totally job some people here and build up some people that you want. And
Hmm.
so when Raw Underground started, like it was like, okay, because they weren't really building anyone up except they were adding some new talent. So we were hopeful for whatever the guy you were talking about, I Dabo Kato, whatever. He
Yeah.
like he first came out as like, okay, this dude beat up a whole bunch of people, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take note. All right, and he's been beating people up, so they have been jobbing to him. But then they started sprinkling main event talent.
Right. Right. And they're obviously going to be above this guy, or at least they should be.
Yeah, but even then, they started fighting against each other, like the main event talent, and it's like all of a sudden it's like you're losing. I don't know what they're trying to do with it, but they're losing the
Yeah.
jobbers too. Like there are some jobbers, but you're also 50-50 doing with the other guys, with the guys on
Right.
the
Yeah.
roster.
I mean, it was probably at least a month since we've seen Dabo. It's probably been just as long since the bald guy. I don't know. I don't recall his name, but it's just like these guys. They just got buried, and I was just like, I don't know.
And the
Yeah.
main event talent got buried. Like Dolph Ziggler, like we're seeing like this could like this is his background. They could really build him up. They could really build him up here for people to job to him. But then Strowman comes in and he beats up on Ziggler. And I don't know, somebody else was like Ziggler. Like let's just show how good Ziggler is, and then we're gonna beat him. It's like they're destroying Ziggler.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. But it's just that whole Raw Underground. Like I said, they're adjusting on the fly, and I don't know what the fuck they're listening to, because I wouldn't listen to Twitter,
Right.
and I wouldn't necessarily listen to people just like online telling you what they want, because like I'll tell you one thing, and then I'm just talking. I'm going. I'm gonna roll now. But
But it's great. It's great. It's golden.
one thing I noticed on Twitter, uh, when we joined, right? Strowman had this comment, and I forget what the comment was now. It's like, I'm winning now. Or I forget what it was. But anyway, like, the first, because I'm not usually on Twitter. Like, I don't do Twitter. But the first thing I wanted to do was give him a snide little comment. Like, just
Right.
send him a snide little comment where it's like, oh yeah, what about this? Like, it was literally just calling out all the past things he was doing, because he's totally talking about against those. Like, and it just,
Uh,
like, it was not his character. It was really weird. And so I was going to call him out, and I had a very legitimate reason too. But then I also realized how easy it is to talk shit on Twitter, and how easy it is and not everybody is an expert. I really, like, I don't think people on Twitter mostly are fucking experts or are looking to build up someone. It's mostly like smack talk, and this freedom behind an avatar that you can just. I don't think that's a good place. Even the polls on WWE.com, like you have way too many people, and most of them are not writers. Most of them are not, like they're fans. Like, what do you want to see? Well, 37% they want to see this. 27% say they want to see this. 15%. It's like it's really spread out. Like I don't think that you can listen to that many people because either that or they're constantly firing writers and hiring new writers.
Right.
Something's got to
Right.
justify this
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's just
I mean, I know there. I mean, even just recently, there was more firings and stuff, but I don't think that's any excuse of what's going, what has been going on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're doing anything with Paul Heyman. I know that apparently he was actually supposed to be out, but they kept him. I don't know.
I mean, with Roman Reigns,
Just,
like stop
well,
giving that
just,
man. We already talked about Roman Reigns. I get frustrated
but
now. Like
I did like his look that he gave Uso as he was walking away, like from that smile to that just I'm like you're gonna die on Sunday, like, and I didn't mind that, like I didn't mind it, I didn't mind. I'm like okay, like
yeah, he just went like
so it's very rare. It's very rare that something positive comes out about Roman Reigns, but again, at that, I mean, he didn't talk at that point. He just made a face, and like and it wasn't a confused face or a thinking face. It was a legitimate. You could feel the emotion through his face, which was good to see.
and that was it. That's all that was needed, man. Like you got the
Yeah,
legit emotion, and that's what you want to bring out of wrestlers. Like, and you work with them.
I'm afraid Jimmy Uso's. I think he's gonna be just bloodied on Sunday. That's just how Roman Reigns made me feel. That he's just gonna
Fuck him up.
obliterate cousin. Yeah, and it's like okay, like if you make that face, then let's do it, and then I'll praise you for it. But yeah,
And you are reiterating our point, I guess, with the whole like or sincerity in acting, like
right, yeah,
which
yeah.
is I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I am sure we agree we're on the same page here. Oh, hold on. There's another plane. Oh. I just fed Big D. We just went with this little airplane.
just watching it on.
And then he chewed. He went. Oh, see, that was sincere. That was sincere, but nobody wrote that.
Well, that was probably the best that I've seen Roman Reigns in about that like little 10 seconds, 15 seconds was the best Roman Reigns I've seen.
And that's coming from you. I think
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to reiterate this if you're watching this. Big D talking about Roman Reigns. Like, do you see what happens when Roman Reigns just is sincere in his acting? And this is not his fault because Roman Reigns can only do what Roman Reigns can do.
Right.
But that he was able to pull off, and look at Big D talking.
Smile.
He believed them, and he was actually he wants to. I assume you want to see that match now.
Yeah. Because now I want to see him just completely destroy his cousin, and then that totally scraps the idea of that they're gonna like end up working together. Like Reigns is just there. He's just show up and win, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I forget what his phrase is anyway.
The wrecking ball,
the tribal sheep is. Yeah, you have been kicked off the island, and yeah, it just that emotion was like, thank you. really, I mean, that was. I mean, I think that's all. That's the only emotion really that was shown
Yeah.
anywhere this week.
Yeah, I was worried during that match because he's all smiling with Uso, and I'm like, "What the fuck are they trying to pull with this?" But I
Right.
thank God he did that because like
Then,
that was the moment
and
that
you can also see Paul Heyman's face, and Paul Heyman is even like, okay, like, and so I don't think I think there's and I think this is going to play in with with Wyatt somehow, I'm not sure in what kind of way, but I think it might be a good way. But I don't think Reigns and Heyman are like buddy buddy in it together kind of thing. I think it's definitely lopsided to Roman Reigns has the reins of Heyman,
well, you would hope so.
especially especially with the fact that he's not the advocate for him. He is the special uh, consul to the chief. So it's like Roman Reigns is like because like that was the whole thing that Paul Heyman was out of WWE, but now that he's like Reigns is like saved him, I guess, for whatever, and so I think that's going to be in play. And again, I don't know where that's going to work in with Wyatt. And although I was like, keep them away. We'll see. Maybe it's not, I don't know. I have nothing to say about the Wyatt and the Fiend except for with Alexa Bliss, and her whole thing. I'm still not getting that angle of now. Anytime the Fiend is mentioned, she gets into that trance. The match with Nikki Cross, and at the end of Nikki Cross's match, the way that her face told the story, that's where I got really excited. Was now that Nikki Cross is making that. So I was gonna message you, and I forgot. But I was like, now we're getting both Cross and Bliss flipping the switch, turning and changing. Is the Fiend making Alexa Bliss change to get Nikki Cross to switch, and that might be the swerve that I discussed a few weeks back, and was hoping that Nikki would be the one that comes out. Well, I mean, I don't know. I like both of them changing, and I'm like, just in my, I don't know. I started forming my words because I really don't know, but I'm also excited to see what happens there. So Bray Wyatt is, I mean, he's not there, but he's still part of these storyline, these two stories that are keeping me excited. So shout out to him.
Oh, absolutely. He wasn't there this week, right? Did I miss something?
No, he wasn't anywhere.
That's probably a good thing.
All that was mentioned was from Lacey Evans to Alexa Bliss was, what, do you need the Fiend? Or something like that. And then once she heard the word Fiend, Alexa Bliss went into that trance and got up, and then just Sister Abigail out of nowhere. Which it looked better this week than it did last week, the one that she did on Nikki Cross, but her making, and I just like Nikki Cross's reaction after that match of just like that sinister, that mean look that she had on her face after she won. I'm just like, yes, that's what I want to see. It wasn't like, they hated each other. It's like they're lifting each other, or like they just lifted each other up, kind of thing.
So you want Nikki Cross to go heel? Or
I think, and then that's where I was gonna. That's where I'm like, are they not gonna go against? Are they still gonna stay with each other? But they just completely went face and heel together, and they'll still be a tag team. I don't know. I
Um,
don't know.
I just, you know what I think about. So first of all, I think that whole Alexa Bliss turning into some sort of a Harlequin,
Yeah.
like Joker's Harlequin or Batman Harlequin, with the Fiend would be not that would elevate her so much. And
Hmm.
once again, like I feel like that's a good direction to go. I'm honestly trying to figure out what swerve means. Like I understand it's like when you really completely flip something on the audience, but
Right.
there are a couple of different ways of different understandings of the swerve. Like you could just like what was a swerve in a sense, like a shitty swerve, I would say was what Bailey did to Sasha Banks because it
Yeah.
made no sense. Like we knew it was going there, but it made no sense. It's like she, if a character has to explain why they're doing something,
Hmm.
it's not good. It's just not good.
Right.
And like
Oh,
whoop, we lost Big D, but
oh boy.
um,
Goodness gracious.
all I'm gonna say is, I think you got to flip your camera, man. Um, there you go. Uh, oh, okay, he's still there. He's still there. Um, that whole match at the end, uh, Sasha should have just plain old lost it. That was it. Like they didn't both have to get pinned. That would have
Right.
made the whole difference. The whole change. That would have made the whole change, the whole difference. And the fact they didn't do that, it just didn't make any sense to me. Like, why would they pin them together and then have her explain it? Like,
She's
she's trying to have her blame it. It just didn't come off right. But anyway, um, I'm losing train of thought. So shitty swerve. Like, that was kind of a shitty swerve. And what would be a good swerve? Um, like somebody coming back and you think they're gonna attack whoever hurt them, but they hurt someone else, or they attack someone else and align with them. That's kind of your typical swerve.
right.
But once again, I'm not an expert on the swerve, so I'm not sure like what it
Man, for me, it just
means.
seems like. I guess Swerve would just like the you know what everybody expects it to happen, but then they just come out of left field and surprise you with that. And that's where the whole thing, like, everyone's expecting Alexa to do this, and it's going that way, but then it's like just something comes along the way and just changes that immediately, kind of thing. Um, I don't know. That's just how I feel. But I don't know. I mean, I'm really intrigued by where Nikki Cross is going now.
Well, Big D's calling it. You think the Nikki Cross is actually gonna do more Sister Abigail than Alexa Bliss?
Right. I mean, I guess maybe in a sense it could be something different where like Alexa is that Sister Abigail ish, but she has created or helped find a new fiend, a new monster in Nikki Cross.
I see. So she's like the recruiter.
Kind of, yeah, kind of thing. Like she pulls that she's pulling that evil out. Like she's let him in through Alexa Bliss. Um, yeah. So
Mm.
then that's where like my mind went to. She's not going to go after the title because that's obviously where Sasha Banks is going. So are they still going to be together and go after and still like go after the tag titles? And that's where like that's the direction that my mind went. If they're not going to be feuding against one another, because like I said, after that Nikki match and she won, and that look that she gave that they had together, it kind of symbolized that like I don't know, they're just on the same page in a way. Um, and the Nikki is getting darker and darker, um, because she's getting mentally she's she's been on a mental roller coaster for quite a few weeks now.
Yeah, and
So I think she's very vulnerable, and the anger seems to come out when you're the most vulnerable, and it all has to do with the thing.
well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know where that's going. I know where I want it to go, and do I want to be surprised? No.
Right, right.
I don't. I like I'm stuck to the idea of Alexa Bliss being Harlequin, and you would have a like I have a feeling that you would have a top level star. I mean, she already is, but you would have like you would probably elevate her to another level. Like I can just
I,
totally see like because like as PC as we are in this culture, like when you have uh, Suicide Squad,
yeah,
the movie, and Harlequin is so romanticized, and like she like knocks heads off people,
right.
and is just as sadistic as the Joker. But like people like I like younger girls want to be like her. She represents strength,
Hmm.
which is ridiculous because she's a suicidal psychopath. But
Right,
she
right.
represents strength. So
Yeah.
but there's also that rebelliousness, which
Hmm.
is so like that's just like I'm just trying to pitch it. I've been trying to pitch that freaking turn for a couple
Yeah,
of
no,
weeks
and
now.
it completely fits. It's just that just that Nikki Cross, when I don't know, just that's where it's like, I can they just both do that switch?
Hey, dude, Nikki
Um,
Cross, she needs to get some nose surgery. Not because it doesn't look good. Cosmetically, it's just crooked. That nose is broken, or maybe it's not. It is crooked, and if that's how she looks normally, I apologize. It looks like a broken nose. I've been there, uh, but like when she looked at the camera at the end of the interview, she looked nuts, man.
yeah,
Yeah, so like I could
and
see her as Sister Abigail a lot easier, because she is not as she's more she looks more like the Fiend. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah. Um,
She's got like the
when
Fiend's build.
when she was with, um, man, I always forget the faction in NXT. Um, hmm, she was crazy. She was crazy in that faction, and that was like
That's who you.
that's the Nikki Cross that we wanted, and then
She got WWE'd.
got all
She got main
yes,
rostered.
she got all sensitive, and then with this whole thing with Alexa, then it's like, if that didn't happen, none of this probably would be happening right now. So I'm thankful for that. Um, but seeing where she had been before, and knowing that she can get to that crazy level, and
And I just want to say, like you've been saying this before. You've been talking about her being Sister Abigail for a while,
right,
for at least 6 months now.
right. And I like the thing. I do like the idea of the Fiend using someone as a host, like Alexa Bliss, to get to someone else that without it being, necessarily easily brought up as, it's him, it's his fault, or it's Alexa Bliss. Like,
It's difficult not
it's her.
to.
But no, the Fiend has affected Alexa Bliss. Now Alexa Bliss is affecting getting that out of Nikki Cross.
So
So
the
he's
Fiend
just he's
needs
just a
to
big puppet maker.
enter you
Right, right.
with his
Alexa,
mandible
Alexa,
claw.
man. And that's the thing. What if? What if the next thing we see is Alexa Bliss and do the mandible claw? I now see your. I now see your.
Can you
But I
see
don't. I
me
don't.
on Skype?
No, no.
No?
But I just no.
Oh shit.
Ever since my device fell. Yeah. So I just saw your hand puppet.
Oh. Yep.
But
Sorry. We're gonna be in a little bit of delay then. That's
but
okay.
just imagine if she does the mandible claw next, like or something like that. I don't know.
I just
I don't think it's happening because I feel like that turn has already gone like down. So it's like it's nonstop from now on with Nikki Cross as well.
you know she
Um,
yeah, I'm sorry. Like okay, I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna get off the Harley Quinn thing. I'm just thinking like cuz she's already got the ponytails on both sides, the little pigtails,
right.
paint her face. Dude, they can
Oh
sell
yeah,
face
I mean,
paint.
she could
They
still
can
be
sell
the.
hammers, they can sell t-shirts, like just really capitalizing.
I just really don't see the whole. I feel like the singles competition is just shot out the window right now until Sasha and Bailey um, resolve it.
Well, yeah, she doesn't even need to compete for anything, man. She can just come in and do it on some of the guys, do mandible claw on some of the guys, like walk from under the ring.
Especially if she's like in that trance, like where it's like she's not in control of herself. She can just do it to anybody.
Yeah,
Um,
and she could beat up some
like
guys that like that way too. Like she could um,
imagine she took down Strowman.
yeah, I would
Like
believe it. I would believe
that
it.
would that'd be awesome. Coming from the face mix
Yep.
and that anger towards him there, and now
Yeah.
the anger of the power of the fiend,
Kick
just
him in the
take him down.
balls and give him to
Oh,
Sister Abigail.
I don't know. I just feel like this might be the beginning of an actual faction,
I'm
and
excited. I just have a
yeah,
feel. I just don't
because we're
trust WWE. I don't trust them.
I, I know, but I never really seen a faction with two females, and I think that'd be really cool to see
Wouldn't that be every tag team?
with two. With wait, what did I say?
Oh, a faction with two females, or a faction with
Well, I
male
mean,
and a
well,
female?
no, with like two females in a faction. I don't think
Oh,
I don't think I've ever seen that where
oh,
like that is like the tag team of the faction is the women's tag team.
oh. So you thinking the Fiend would get both?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
That's
wow. Then
that's
then
where
then the Fiend is gonna
that's
start
where I'm
turning
thinking.
into like a pimp, or like a cult leader, like that Bikram yoga shit.
Well, that's the whole thing is that he's been this cult leader this whole entire time. Bray Wyatt has not changed. He's just changed what we see
Hmm.
to make the palate make it taste better. And it's all still he's still just a cult leader.
I'm
Um,
sorry, right? Like I'm talking about Bikram yoga. This went far. This went somewhere else.
the criminal guide. I've heard of it,
To
and I
make it
don't really
to
know
make
what it
it
is.
taste better.
But yeah, no, like the Firefly Funhouse that it's just used to paint over the crazy cult that it really is. It makes us it lets us in that we feel comfortable going to that place, and it's not a place that we should feel comfortable going to. Um,
No,
but
your ankles, your ankle lock's house, your uncle's house. I don't think
uh,
so. No.
but
Poor
yeah, no,
uncles,
I
man.
just
Uncle's got a bad rap.
I'm uncle 3 times, 5 times, I don't know.
You cry, uncle. It's too late.
But yeah, I feel like that's the direction that they're going that way. Just and especially the fact that with as far as single competition, it's all Sasha and Bailey right now.
I wish that we knew less about what was going on behind the scenes, or knew less as far as being able to just kind of tell, like, okay, so this is where they are, this is the only thing that makes sense, this is what they're going to do, Like, I wish we weren't able to tell that as much. Does that make sense?
Well, I
Like,
mean, well, I don't know. I mean, like, I think I mean, as far as Bailey, I mean, that just seems like that's right out there in the open. That
no, we got the
you know,
big gun show.
Sasha's just I'm going for that title.
Yeah, I mean,
And I just don't, and it would be a waste for someone else to get involved. And
they don't need to, but like the women's
right,
division,
so
like they were doing so good, and then Flair got hurt, Charlotte got hurt, Rhea Ripley, I don't like, she was
yeah,
gone
I
for
don't
a
know.
couple like, and then like she like that cage match was good with Rhea Ripley.
Right,
Um,
does nothing.
by the way, I was showing Paige's Rhea's look. Like
Uh
she
huh.
totally changed. Like she went from like this like goody two shoes to like
The
and
black makes
she just
black makes the difference.
yeah, if she just didn't have that smirk, that fake I'm acting smirk, like I'm
Right,
fake pissed. If she didn't
right,
have that, boom, dude, she'd be right there. But they need singles. Like I also understand with the coronavirus, there's only so many people they can fly in, so many people they can actually come in at certain times. And now that they're doing like this taping thing and not taping, and I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they are not only handicapped by what they can do writing wise, but they're also limited what they can do uh, with who they have there. You know, so
right.
I understand that this is not going to be a good era, but there's so many places that you can do like good things, and which brings me to we're just talking about Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I want to talk about Lacey Evans.
What would be cool? I'm sorry, I was gonna respond to JM's comment. Of what would be cool?
If I'm
Sure.
sorry, JM, my for some reason my chat is offline, so I cannot see anybody. So thanks for responding, Big D. It just says
Yeah,
chat disconnected.
that was about 4 minutes ago, but I just
Sorry, JM. Thanks
sorry,
for
Jay.
showing up. I don't know if Pages is here or not. Uh, I can tell though, cause Pages right there. Hi, Pages.
Hi.
Hi,
It's Pages.
pages.
I still have to put her reaction to the blow up doll match.
Um,
Um, it, but I think Lacey Evans. I haven't seen her much. I think as a wrestler, she's underused. She
yeah.
is pigeonholed into a character, and as far as I can tell, she is a good actor or actress.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like she is underused heavily. Uh, I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if she was somehow involved with the Fiend, but she can totally be. I mean, she just like she's believable, and she looks like she can beat your ass.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so I really hope that she gets involved with the singles.
Yeah. That's just. I mean, yeah. I just now it's like
Her character is just it's very much like one of those.
I just want the Sasha and Bailey thing to just be over now. Because like you said, we need those singles. We need
Yeah,
those singles. That's
we need
now
singlets.
it's me.
You didn't just say we need singlets. Big D just said. Did you say we need singlets?
I said singles.
Oh, okay. So it's me. Oh my god. I want to flex. There we go. Oh no. No, well,
But
I guess singlets are better than
right,
trunks. Oh
yeah,
my
like
god, just get off the fucking trunks, people.
pants with belts.
Can it like okay, whatever. Lacey Evans, we're rooting. I'm rooting for you. I know Big D's probably rooting for you too.
Yeah, no, um, like I said, like I mean, and that's the thing. Like we do need that singles, but I just don't. I just see that as not really going. I mean, I guess they can do a feud somehow, but it's going to take a while until the Sasha and Bailey thing is done. There's no one going anywhere down the path of that title.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so
mean, okay, let's talk Sasha and Bailey. Um,
yeah,
you already hinted to it. If you guys weren't watching, Big D was doing this. Yeah, my neck hurts.
Okay. Jay responded that it would be cool to Bray turning Alexa.
Well,
Um,
yeah, it'd be
yeah,
fantastic. Um,
yeah, yeah.
thanks, JM. Imagine Harley Quinn. She doesn't. She can even a little bit. She can have like the Fiend face, or she could wear the Fiend mask sometimes, or just have like
Yeah,
little face paint, like half a face or something.
yeah.
I mean, you don't want to rip off Harley Quinn. You don't want to get sued, but she could paint her eyes only, and she can have
Mhm.
that hammer, that whack thing, whack a mole, whatever, mallet um, that the
And
Fiend
then
has.
Nikki could just be that beast that you just try to tame.
She looks like it.
Which, but yeah, and I'll just, I mean, just one before we really go on to that Bailey Sasha, but that's just the thing is like, I just, I feel like they're both getting lifted up, and I think it might be best for them to stay together. If they can work this really well together, um, I mean, you might see them as tag team champs
Well, they
again
could be.
soon.
They could be a whole faction with the Fiend, like you were
Yeah.
saying.
I really like that, especially for getting away from Strowman. I don't know what Strowman is doing because now he's on the underground. I
Oh,
don't
no,
know
do
if
you
the
want me to tell you what Strowman is doing? I can tell you. I can tell you exactly what Strowman is doing.
he's beating
Oh man,
himself up.
he is
So
doing Big D. He is doing absolutely nothing.
nothing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I gotta water the plant, so I'm gonna let you get on
Yeah.
Sasha and Bailey, and I'll be right back, or
Sasha.
whatever. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. So this whole, we saw the Bailey attack on Sasha, and 2 weeks later, Sasha's ready for an interview, and it was just a horrible interview. First of all, I was like, I couldn't tell if did her trachea really get smashed? Can she not talk? But then she started talking, and who was interviewing? I don't know who was interviewing her, but all those I actually can't think of the name. But anyway, all these injuries and all this, and her response was, "Well, I'm here, ain't I?" Well, that doesn't tell me anything about your injuries whatsoever. Um, and yeah, she had the neck brace on, but she is moving her head like crazy, and that just made that unbelievable. And yeah, then she ended up getting smacked in the back with a chair from Bailey. Bailey attacked her again. Um, I thought for sure she was gonna. I think she should have. She got her head stuck wedged in the chair, and I was hoping that she would stomp on the legs to, really mess her neck up again. But she held off. But yeah, this whole thing has now become very unbelievable. They try to make it personal, try to make it real, and I think they've lost grasp of this whole feud that could have should have been gold for WWE, but I think it's gone from coal to gold to coal. I think it's just fool's gold now. Um, but yeah, that's my opinion on that. Um, and now I'm just, as much as I wanted this storyline to go on and have them have this awesome feud and epic championship match, I just think now I just want it to be over with. Um, yeah, that's all I got. I should have slowed my words down. Should have talked a lot slower. Um, but Hey, Jay, thanks for joining us. We got 4 people in the chat. Um,
Oh,
one,
I'm back.
there might, I don't know who. Oh, you're back. Okay, I can't see. Oh, there you are. I see you.
What I miss? What I miss? I can't see the
Oh,
chat.
not much. Not much. I just nothing in the chat, but I was just expressing my feel about Sasha and Bailey. Of it's like fool's gold now to me. It was gold. It was gold, and then now it's just fool's gold, and I don't want it anymore. I just want it to be over with. And that whole interview was just foolish and uh, not done right whatsoever. There wasn't any reality to that she's really injured. Um, yeah,
I know. I
I
was just like that.